Good afternoon, everybody. This is Lance Furuyama here with the ADDMORE Services team. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, Pressy?
Hi, Lance. Good day.
Hi.
My name is Priscilla Sapitula, but they call me in Admore as Pressy, better known as Pressy. I started with Admore way back pandemic time, 2020, and that was August. No, sorry, it was October 2020 with Colin as my former boss in Dubai.
Okay, and we're going to dig deeper into the history of your work with Mr. Adley.
Mhm.
Chris, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Cristobal Sacramento, and I joined ADDMORE Services 2021, year 2021, when I went back home here in the Philippines. So I contact Miss Pressy, and eventually they are requiring a guy to work with them. So I joined year 2021 in ADDMORE Services.
Excellent. And let's talk a little bit about education. I know that that's a really big thing when it comes to hiring with ADDMORE Services. Chris, why don't you lead off with a little bit about your educational background?
Yeah. Yes. I graduated in Adamson University. It is one of the top private universities in Manila. It is ranked number 89. I took BS Architecture and graduated in the year 2000. After I graduated, I joined my father's construction company, which is a telecom project. We're doing Globe Projects, PLDT, and I was a project supervisor during that time. And after that, I felt I was not growing in my father's company, so I decided to resign. So I applied to another company from 2001 to 2006. So maybe I worked five companies here in the Philippines.
Well, was it
My
pretty
first,
different between the companies?
yeah, my first job is a Japanese company. We are doing plans for residential houses in Japan. And my second job was technical staff. We're doing exterior finishes and light finishes such as moldings for external finishes in the building. I
Wow.
also yes.
Oh, no, that's
I
very
also
different experience.
yeah. I also applied in realty here in the Philippines as a project architect. And after that, maybe a year, I work as a landscape designer in one of the biggest company here in Manila. We're doing massive landscape in big real estates. And my last work here in the Philippines was in a fit out joinery company, which was in Makati. Yeah. And our project was mostly in Malaysia. Then after that, I decided to go abroad in Dubai. So there I worked maybe 15 years as
Oh,
a yeah as a technical architect. I worked there for maybe four companies, and one of the longest company there is I stayed is from I think from Romeo, yeah, which is also where Miss Press is my colleague, and
okay.
also I think Colin also worked there. Yeah.
Well, I hear,
Mhm.
from what I understand, the standard of work in Dubai is quite high, right? Like as far as workmanship and craftsmanship.
Yeah. My first experience there in Dubai was in luxury yacht interiors. So we're doing joinery for for interiors. But I think during that time, the Dubai is has an economic crisis.
Mm.
So our department closed because of that crisis. Then eventually I resigned also. Then I joined another company, which is the Romeo Interiors Factory. Then after that, I decided to go back to the Philippines, and here I joined ADDMORE. Yeah,
Okay, and we're gonna dive into that. But before that,
yeah.
let's give Pressy the opportunity to talk about her education and career background.
Yeah, well, I graduated pretty much. Chris is 2000, right, Chris?
Yeah.
I graduated 1986, Bachelor of Science in Natural Engineering from Far Eastern University. One also of the um, top university in the Philippines. And after my graduation, in fact, I was not involved in construction first because when you are graduated an industrial engineering, you can work in almost all industries, construction, garments, any manufacturing industries. So I first involved, my employment was garments. So
Oh,
while I was working in the Philippines, I was involved in garments because that time, that was year 1990s. I mean, the Philippines was, I can say that Philippines is the garments capital of the Philippines that time during the 1990s. So the garments industries in the Philippines was really boom.
mm.
But right after we're nearing 2000, that was 1996, there were some, chaos problems in the Philippines. So what
Mm-hmm.
I did, because all our garments industry in the Philippines were almost closing down. So what I did, I resigned. I lost my job also from all different garments industries. So I decided to go to Bangkok, Thailand.
Oh,
So that was my first abroad experience. And that my first job experience in Bangkok was in curtain walling. So that was the first time that I was involved in construction industries. So the curtain walling and precasting. So I was involved working with Thai nationals, and that was the first time for me to work with foreigners or different nationalities.
wow. So working with different foreigners and nationalities, you guys have become accustomed to like the different standards, the different things that people are looking for, right?
True. And Curtain Wall at the time was owned by a German company, so it was really uh, a good experience for me to work with foreigners, different. Various kinds of people working with different nationalities. Then after that, year 2000, because 1997, I don't know if you heard it, the 1997 there was an Asian crisis, and
Yes.
that was in Bangkok, Thailand. It happened in Bangkok, Thailand. So I went to Dubai, year 2000, year 2000. And that was, I first met Mr. Colin Adley. And that was the first company that I was interviewed, and that was Greenline. I don't know that really don't know that Greenline was one of the top companies when it comes to interior in Dubai.
Yeah.
They say that Greenline is one of the high end interior companies in Dubai. And luckily, I was interviewed by Mr. Colin Adley. He was the one who interviewed me at the time, and luckily I was able to pass this interview and join Greenline Interiors. And I was there under Mr. Colin Adley for 10 years with him, working with him from 2000 up to 2010. And being a top one company, we did the Burj Al Arab, the city center in Dubai. If you see that picture that Mr. Colin shown to you, Adli team, that was
Yes.
the big project that we had in Green Line, the Deira City Center project. And after that is the Burj Al Arab, the 7-star hotel in Dubai.
7 star?
Yes, Burj Al Arab it's not only a 5-star hotel, it's a 7-star hotel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might be out of
Yeah.
my budget. And I
I
understand you guys had your ISO certification as well, right? While you were at Greenline?
Yes, yes, we did, and I think that was right 2004. We had our ISO certification in Green Line. Um, in fact, passing. We know that when we had a certification in ISO, it's a rigid, training with some. It's a 2-day course and training for all of us to have this ISO certification. And luckily, also we passed and we had our certificates for this ISO certification.
Yeah, and I know that he mentioned during our interview that's something he wants to continue at ADDMORE.
That's true. In fact, he already asked me to prepare for this month of January and trying to, to set it up and all the requirements and also arrange all our structure because this is the main requirements in having our ISO certification.
Mhm. Okay, so when you joined him at ADDMORE, I mean, this was a couple of years ago. Was it like being reunited with family?
Yeah, true enough. But after that, in fact, that was the first company that I had with Mr. Colin, because after Green Line, I joined another company, 2011, 2012, with him in Romeo Design. He's our
Oh,
CEO. So after that was
Mhm.
10 years in Green Line, and then another 2 to 3 years in Romeo Design.
Mhm.
wow.
Before
And what did you do at Romeo Design?
I was a procurement coordinator at the time, and at the same time, a senior document controller.
Hmm.
So I handle most of the drawings, drawing transmittals, drawing logs, all documentations. When you say document, all documents that is necessary, relevant to submission, to receiving, to inquiry receive, to all that will go out of our department, I am responsible for that.
And you understand the standards. You've been working with him for so long.
It's true. And Mr. Colin is really a very systematic guy, organized. He wants
Yes.
everything in place. He wants everything in organized. Even all our filing structure, he wants everything in place.
Wow. So what are some of the steps that you guys take to make sure your document control is up to the standard?
In fact, when we were in Green Line and at the same time in Romeo Interiors, we are using all these tracking trackers. Only we are using MS Excel, Microsoft Excel, but everything is in place in tracking. So whenever we issue drawings also, we are using a transmittal. We don't just issue drawings without a transmittal. Otherwise, when we are looking for something, we will not be able to get right away or find all these drawings, all these steps without any transmittal. So it's very important and necessary for us to have a transmittal for every documents, for every drawings, for every submission that we submit to clients, to vendors, and to suppliers.
Okay, so you guys took the best practices and really added onto it with ADDMORE.
True. We have applied all of these
Mhm.
things here in Admore.
Yeah.
You must be the queen of pivot tables. Okay, and once you prepare the documents, and figure out the scope, what are some of the next steps that you guys take?
When I receive an inquiry, I just have to put a project reference number first, for us to easy recognize that this project reference number is allocated to this project uh, project name. And then after that, I will forward it to Colin or Chris or our technical operations manager for them to review, for them to study, or if we are willing or able to code for the project.
Hmm.
Then Chris will review them and then will provide me some man hours, and then it will go back to me for me to prepare a proposal.
Okay.
Based all the informations that what Chris provided, I will prepare a proposal, and then I will prepare a draft proposal, and that draft proposal will be going forward to Colin for his final review and final approval.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's very helpful. And then once that happens,
Mm.
once it's approved, does that go over to you, Chris?
Yeah. Uh, before before we give the proposal to our CEO, once I receive an email from our technical manager to study the drawings, I prepare the man hours, the work duration, and every drawing should be properly checked if all are complete. Once it's complete, we we provide all the man hours required and all the manpower required.
Okay. And do you guys have like a work from home policy for people, or how does that work?
Yeah. Once the project is approved, I will the first thing I'm doing is I will prepare an RFI asking for drawing standards of clients. Mostly ADMORE's clients have their own drafting standards. So we study them to adapt their standards. Also,
Hmm.
if there's a missing info like MEP, white goods, hardwares, and ironmongeries, we make sure our drawings are properly coordinated. After that, I will set up a meeting with my drafters. Once all these information are complete, because we cannot start drawings if the information are incomplete. So once all are this are the information are complete, we will prepare. I will prepare the shop drawing log and delegate the task to the drafters. I always prepare the meeting with the drafters before we start any projects and explain all the standards I took from the client, from the response of the RFI. Work delegation for drafters is not easy because as their manager, I should know their expertise. I make sure the time allotted to each unit is followed, and all ADMORE drafters are also professional and expert. They have experience in various international works. I also ensure that the task I gave to them i- is with the company's working hours. Proper coordination is a must to avoid redoing the works.
Hmm.
We use Microsoft Teams and WhatsApp to coordinate because we're doing home-based work.
Nice. It's my understanding that a lot of the like to even be hired by AdMore, you have to have like years of experience, right? There's nobody fresh out of college
Yeah,
or anything like that.
True. That's true,
everybody is
Lance.
professional.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, and then there's also a buddy system in place for checking the drawings.
Yeah, when checking the drawings, I always do it in Microsoft Teams. So sometimes I do screen to properly explain the errors. I always do it on screen to through Teams so I can explain it to them directly. And for minimal mistakes, I just took screenshot and send it to them. So everything is properly coordinated.
Okay, so you guys are doing almost like a double benefit, right? You're making corrections and you're also using it as a live, real-time educational component.
Yeah.
There's no better way to learn. It's what I found out in my time in the industry.
Mhm. When
So,
the
go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, when the drafter finish their drawings, they always send it to me through PDF, and they also prepare external transmittal, and from there I will send it to Miss Pressy to submit it to the client.
Hmm. And that's a clean handoff. I mean, they have
Yeah,
many years of experience between the two of you and everybody else that's working on it.
yeah.
I'm curious. I mean, I see a lot of, or I submit a lot of RFIs for my projects. What are some of the most common things that your clients are missing in the initial document sets?
For example, MEP, because
MEP?
we need to coordinate our drawings to the power layouts, and also some of the missing equipments. For example, the size of the fridge, the size of the TV. You should know that because we need to properly coordinate that in our drawing to avoid redoing all the drawings we're making.
Hmm. And what about you, Presley? What are some things that you commonly see missed in the early portion of like the coding or the projects?
Mm, not too many, but this is most important. Is whenever we prepare a proposal, we need the scope of works. So because based on this is the proposal or the quotation that we have prepared. Of course, we have to attach the scope of works to our proposal, and that is also coming from Chris.
Okay, and you guys have quite a few U.S. clients, is my understanding.
In fact,
Yes.
most of our clients are US based.
Okay, is
They're
it
all
all over the
USA.
place, or is it geared in a certain geographical area?
For now, there are about all over the place because we have Boston, we have New York, we have Miami. So
Mm.
it's all over the US plus the Middle East and KSA, Saudi Arabia.
Wow. Yeah, initially when I first started talking to Colin, my thought was that working with a team in the Philippines time-wise would be complicated, but when he explained it to me, he was saying that, you could get a request late in the day and, in the US when you wake up, it could be ready for you if it's, the right scope.
In fact, Lance, to be honest, you were asking because ADDMORE is a work from home setup at the moment. We don't work face to face, but we just realized that we can work this setup, right? After the pandemic, we had the setup. In fact, just this year, our government is encouraging us to have a hybrid setup. Especially the COVID cases is here again. It's rising in our
Yes.
place. So we just realized that we can work this setup. We can work from home safely in our homes, no?
It's
And yeah, and we can. In fact, we didn't even realize that this will work out. But for us, it's been turning 3 years, and it's working. We save everything in our Dropbox. We can get our documents in Dropbox. We put everything in Dropbox. Everything's in Dropbox. So what we need is in Dropbox. We file, we save everything in Dropbox, and this is a very very easy, organized, structured.
Yeah, I've always believed in the power of a distributed workforce. But the
Mhm.
pandemic has forced people to realize that it can work if you have the right systems in place, which I believe that you guys do.
Yeah, we just have our teamwork and coordination works well.
Okay,
proper
and
coordination.
what are some other things that people here in the U.S. should know about? Because I'm, I'm planning on shouting it from the mountaintops, but what are some things that people should know and hear directly from you guys?
Yes, ADDMORE Services offers a high quality um, at a very affordable cost, and at the same time, we meet the deadlines of the client. And for
Yeah, that's
sure, our client, in fact, most of our clients are really very happy with our services offered to them. Yeah.
Excellent. And Chris, did you have anything
And
to add?
mm,
Oh, go ahead, Presley. Sorry about
and
that. Go ahead.
having earlier, Chris was saying that we have a high skilled professionals, and they are not just juniors, they have also international experience. They also work in Dubai for 15 to 20 years. So we have these high caliber people who join us as well in ADDMORE Services.
Thank you. And Chris?
yeah. I think it's Miss Pressy already tell everything about ADMORE. So the one thing I can add is ADMORE drafters are, yeah, are all professionals, and they have experience, well experience, and they can adapt easily
Hmm.
in our client's requirement.
Excellent. Yeah, I mean, the fact that these people work in Dubai and they have the opportunity to work at home in the Philippines now, I mean, they don't take it for granted. And also, I mean, not that US standards are more lax, but people are really held to be more accountable, I feel, at a lot of the projects in Dubai. So they're used to that very tough standard and keep that in their workflow.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it looks like we're all gonna go visit a 7-star hotel in a little bit. Thank you, Colin. Just
Yes.
kidding.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. I
You.
appreciate you guys taking the time.
Yeah, happy New
You
Year.
too, Lance. Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lance.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.